Hi everyone, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday, the 17th of March. Thank you for joining me. It's a joy to be with you today. I'm using the original Rider-Waite deck. If you've taken my course on the website, the Intuitive Tarot Expert course, then this is the deck I would recommend. It's the original Rider-Waite deck on which most of the current popular decks are based. Or I would, if you like bright colors, I'd recommend the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. They've updated some of the images to make them brighter and bolder, and they've taken the lines and made them, the outlines, and made them thinner and just made the cards look a little bit more appealing in terms of updating them to be more modern. So either this deck, the Rider-Waite deck, or the Radiant Rider-Waite deck are great tarot decks to learn and to use because they're like the key to all other decks. And then like me, you can use any deck you want and you still have the meaning right there. So I'm shuffling the cards and I'm tuning into Sunday, the 17th of March to see what energy you'll be working with and what's happening, how you can use that energy to your advantage. So I just set the intention, what's happening on Sunday the 17th, and the cards then provide me with an answer. These readings are for all signs of the zodiac. They're for everyone who watches. And let's have a look. Judgment again. Wow, we had that yesterday or the day before. So interesting. Okay, you see how old school these are? I love them. It's just, these, I think they were done 100 years ago. And some people call it the Rider-Waite Smith deck because it was a lady called something Smith who actually painted the pictures. So the Judgment card is an angel blowing a trumpet and these people sitting in their coffins and waking up and holding their hands out and saying, we hear you, we get what you're trying to tell us. And the card isn't about being judged. It's a card saying, wake up, do what you're supposed to do with your life. And the angel is a very kind of abstract and complicated way of saying, listen to your inner gut, listen to what your feelings tell you. They're going to be guiding you strongly today in terms of what you're supposed to be doing. So again, it's another great day to brainstorm in terms of what is my life purpose? What am I here for? What is the point of all of this? How can I make a contribution? Rather than being a zombie and living like this dead life, work, sleep, eat, repeat over. How can I do something that's actually meaningful, that's full of change and wonder, and that excites me? We've got the St. George's flag there, but today it's looking to me like the Red Cross. It's amazing how the symbols change, and because I've been reading these cards for decades now, since I was 11, and I'm 37, so what's that, 20-something years? And I always saw this as an intersection of spirit, the vertical line coming down, and the horizontal line being earth and the physical body. And the intersection is where spirit meets the physical world. And that's why you become aware of your life purpose, because they connect. But today I'm seeing a Red Cross, and the Red Cross is an organization that heals people all over the world in afflicted areas. So especially if you're meant to be a healer in some way, you will get a strong message about that today. So if you're tuning in, or if you're just listening to your feelings, or you're working on something that's totally unrelated and you suddenly feel this pang of, hey, I could actually help people with this knowledge that I have. I could actually help people reconnect with their inner child or heal their inner child, why don't I do something about that? If you get that kind of message, it's meant to be acted upon, and you're meant to wake up and do something with it. The next card is the Three of Swords, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a heart with three swords in it. Not happy, is it? Swords is the element of air. It has to do with thinking, ideas, external circumstances, decisions made by you and other people. And it's heartbreak, loss, and betrayal. So, I don't love you anymore. I've met someone else. I've been seeing someone else for 6 months. The clouds start, the rain is pouring, which is a symbol of really tears. And the heart being pierced like that is a broken heart and real pain. Heartbreak is one of the most difficult emotional pains that we can deal with. Physical pain is one thing, but emotional pain is a whole different ball game, really. And we can have emotional pain from unresolved things in our childhood, and that's why going to see a therapist sometimes is really useful, to bring those to the light, those difficulties that we carry around with us. And I heard a thing recently that really stuck with me. People are like cement. Whatever you throw on them leaves an impression. And that's really kind of stuck with me. Because if something happens in your childhood, you'll be carrying that pain around until you're 20, 30, 40, unless you bring it to the light, talk about it, and heal it. That's one kind of pain, this undercurrent, this underlying pain that's always with you. But heartbreak is really right there, and it's something that with every breath you feel. It's like this super, super pain. And people then often resort to drinking or taking drugs or using substances to get rid of that feeling, because it numbs out everything emotional. It's at the center of the card, so there may be some sort of problem. There may be a decision that you're not happy with. Maybe your child has decided to go off to college and you're like, oh, I'm going to miss her so much. Or a partner does say, I don't want to live here anymore, I'm leaving. Or you yourself say, I can't be with you anymore. I do love you, but there are just so many differences between us that I can't do this anymore. It's not working for me. I'm having to make myself smaller to fit into your life, and I just don't want to do that anymore. And that will lead to you waking up, and you're forced to wake up if you have this kind of pain, because it leaves a vacuum. How do I get out of this pain? Well, through action. And the angels are there with you, so remember that. You're never alone. Regardless of what happens, you're always supported by the universe. And even though, like someone I knew a long time ago said, well, God or the higher power, the angels, they don't hug me in bed at night. Well, they don't on a physical level, but if you close your eyes and if you feel what's around you, you'll see how busy it is around you. You have every deceased loved one around you. You have the angels, your guardian angel, your guides. Everyone is around you supporting you. And the universe has such great things planned for you beyond your wildest dreams. So this situation today forces you to wake up in some way. Then we have Temperance, and Temperance is just the very beginning, dipping your toe into your real purpose. It's balancing, again, the spiritual with the physical and reaching up to the universe to become enlightened and to become empowered. We've got this sun there in the third eye section, and it's shining its light. The sun is identity and power. So by becoming empowered and dipping your toes into the water, your feelings, your inner voice, you start on the path to enlightenment. That's in reverse. You haven't just dipped your toe in. You're a lot further than you think. You're already on the path. Enlightenment is that far away. And by enlightenment, I mean doing what you are meant to do, what you're really destined to do. And you've been hearing this message for years, and you've dismissed it. Again, particularly with healers, you've probably dismissed it because, oh, I'm just making this up, or I'll never be able to pay my bills with this, or I'm not good enough to heal other people. I'm totally broken myself. How can I heal other people? If you wait to be completely healed, you'll never heal anybody, because the human condition is to be unhealed. So if every doctor in the world waited until they were 100% right, no one would ever get surgery done or be rescued, or there wouldn't be an emergency department. You're closer than you think. So even if it doesn't have to do with healing, it may be, look at your job at the moment. Does it make you happy? Are you using your intellectual skills? Are you just avoiding a decision that you know you have to make? The existing work that you're in, you have enjoyed that for the first year, but then the next 4 years were just boring, and you stayed in the job simply because it was a fixed income and it was secure, but you know you have to make a decision at some point to get out of that and to really do what you love to do. So maybe you want to be a carpenter. Maybe you want to be a chiropractor. Maybe you want to be a flight attendant. Who knows? But it's that procrastination that is also a way of self-harming you. It's hurting yourself by realizing that something has to change and not doing anything about it. The good news is that you are closer than you think. So think back. What are the things that you have felt in your gut over the last couple of years, and the things that you've not taken seriously? Because higher self-guidance is quiet. You have to kind of strain to listen to it. It's repetitive, and it's what you're really meant to do. But it's easy to miss because it's so quiet and it doesn't put pressure on you. It feels calm and it feels lovely, and there's no kind of urgency associated with it. The ego voice is totally different. The ego voice is loud. It's easy to hear. It says you have to do this now. There's a sense of emergency associated with it, and it creates great anxiety. So if you don't do this now, something bad's going to happen. So try and quieten down a little bit and see and try to remember what this trumpet has been blowing in your ear, so to speak, for the last couple of years in terms of what you're doing with your life. And that applies to retired people, that applies to students. Are you studying the right major? In my opinion, it is much better to change your major than to just finish the degree just because I've already done 2.5 years. Why should I change now just before graduation, even though you despise what you studied or you realize you're no good at it? It's much better to change majors to something that you actually enjoy, because then it's worthwhile. If you just finish it for the sake of it, it's a waste of your time. It's a waste of everybody's time. If you're retired, you still have a job to do. This whole retirement concept is very strange, that you work until a certain age and then you get to rest. I don't think that's what life is about. Certainly, on a physical level, you may not be able to climb Mount Everest at 80, but you still have a purpose that you're meant to live. And people achieve their life missions at totally different ages. So you may be 75 and you may have lived your life purpose your entire life, or you may not have. You may have been working in a bank and that used none of your God-given talents, and now at 75, you're hearing the message that start a group and start making quilts, which you're going to sell on Etsy, and which are really nurturing and comforting to people who live alone and they want to have a quilt which they know was made with love and care, and they feel special by owning that. Number wise, we've got 20 and 3 is 23. And 15 is 28, 38. 3 and 8 is 11, and 11 is the master number of service. So through your dissatisfaction, through your pain, you're forced to wake up. The most enlightened people wake up through prayer and meditation. The rest of us have to really go through pain before we start listening to something bigger. That's 90% of people change because there's pain involved. Because of this feeling of unfulfillment, or there may be a hole in the soul, you start to actually listen to your higher self. You realize that you're closer to achieving this life purpose than you think. And also this triangle is pointing downwards. So again, the universe is delivering a message to you today, which fills these holes once the swords are pulled out, and which heals your heart. And by living your life purpose, not only do you heal others, 11, master number of service, not only are you going to be of service to others, but you're also going to be of service to yourself, because you heal your own heart. So with every person you heal yourself. Or with every product you create that's positive to another human being, with each one you sell, you heal yourself a little bit more. So there you go. It's a great day to, again, brainstorm and discover what you are really all about and what practical future lies ahead of you. And take a little time to figure that out. It's the most meaningful exercise that you can do. It's priceless knowing what you're meant to do. Have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to audio reading. Please subscribe to the channel if you like my videos. Share this video as well. That would be great, and I would really appreciate it. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.